Okay.
So that you won't be available to the rest of the things. So that is why customers are more attracted to that, IBM products. That is one piece. The second one is you don't see many bugs in this application. It's a well-tested environment, and you don't see any critical bugs which is available in the current system. When you go for a third-party products, or some different vendor, definitely that product will have that product will have some issues, and if you if you reach them, it will take you take definitely months of time to fix that issue. Customer won't wait till that time, right? So the reliability, the support is more important when you go for any product, right? So that is available in this WAS. Clear?
Okay, that's the business part, right? So I'm moreover into technical part, like what's the difference between WebLogic and what's the difference between WebSphere application server if you use in your environment?
Okay, if you go for a WebLogic, application server, if you are going to integrate a messaging service, okay, to your application. Suppose your application wants to send one message from system to system. How we are going to do it in WebLogic? If you go for a WebLogic application server, definitely you need to integrate a third-party product, which is available in the market. And after that, the integration part you have to do it manually. But when it comes to the WAS, that is readily available. You can do it. You just configure it. That will do the things quickly. And when you go for a message broker, if you want to integrate a MQ IBM message queuing or message broker service to your WebLogic server, WebLogic application server, definitely you have to do plenty of steps to perform that, right? So when you come to the WAS, that feature is already built in, so you don't need to do such kind of thing externally. It's a very simple thing. In a short span of time, you will achieve such kind of requirement. And moreover, the first thing, the viewer, also suppose if if you want to see your performance to your application, okay, how we are going to do it in WebLogic server? You don't have that option to see your to see the application performance in WebLogic application server, right? So when it comes to the WebSphere application server, we have a Tivoli performance viewer. We have many viewers to see the application performance, and if you want to see in detail JVM heap dump log, also you can see it using different kinds of views, which is readily available in the application server, WebSphere application server. Clear?
Okay.
So many features. Even if we start saying these things, it won't end up. That many features are available in this WAS.
Okay.
Those features we'll see anyway. Once we start the session, right? I'll show you. What are the differences and what are the benefits which we go for a WebSphere application server. Okay. We will see those details in detail in the sessions. Okay.
Yeah. No problem.
Yeah. Now, anyway, if you say for example, if you go for a Gmail site, okay, Gmail site, if you hit www.gmail.com, what it will happen at the background? So definitely this application should run on some JVM, right? Java Virtual Machine, right? Here JVM in the sense nothing but in one of the server, like WebSphere application server or WebLogic server or any of the third-party server. Should be used to access that application, right? So for that, what happened actually? Suppose if if the user hits www.gmail.com, what is happening at the background? The first request comes to the HTTP server. That is one kind of server, one kind of JVM you can say, okay? So once after that, it will comes to your application server, whatever it may be, if it is a WebSphere or WebLogic or Tomcat or any kind of thing, okay? So that is nothing but here we can say, from now onwards we can make that terminology as a JVM, okay, instead of WebSphere application server. So one JVM is required to run your application in the server, right? So when you hit the URL, it will come to your JVM and do some kind of logic which is you already and the developer has written the code. Once after that logic execution, the results will come and show into the page, right? So that is nothing but a JVM part. So I mean, we have different kinds of JVM. So from now onwards, we are going to talking about JVM. What is a JVM? JVM is nothing but a Java virtual machine where it has provide a lot of background functionality that you don't need to worry about. I mean, what it has provided internally, because the developer who has developed the code, the guy should know which JVM is going to use with respect to this code. Okay. So providing JVM, sorry.
Okay, Mohan, I've got one question.
Yeah.
So this is Java related, right? Java virtual machine.
Correct.
So if your environment is suppose .NET or any .NET environment, so is it going to solve it? How is it going to solve it?
No. This is WebSphere application server supports only Java related applications.
Okay, it's only Java.
It's only Java.
Okay.
Okay. So that is how, suppose if your application is in .NET and you want to see that application in your application which is running in Bash, that we can do it as a web services. We have many options to to achieve some similar kind of functionalities. There, right?
Suppose
so that is part will supported by the Bash.
That will be supported by West.
Yeah.
Okay.
As I told see, okay, let me tell you. Okay, we have one application which is running on .NET. Okay. I want to see that application in my application. Say for example, we have a Gmail. Okay, Gmail application. Okay. I want to see Yahoo application into my Gmail. Yahoo is running on .NET. Gmail is running on Java. That is okay. Say for example, Gmail is running on WebSphere application server. Yahoo is running on Microsoft IIS server. Okay. I want to see that Yahoo application into my Gmail. Some piece of code, some piece of part I want to see it in my Gmail. Then how can I achieve that? Because these two are in two different JVMs, right? One is Java related JVM. Microsoft is providing his own JVM, right? So how we are going to integrate this? Through web services we can achieve. Why web services? Web services is nothing but it's in a XML format, right? Completely understandable by any platform, right? So using that we can achieve that. Clear?
So it's only web services that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Or do we need some extra patches on
No, this is purely a Java. This is purely a Java enterprise runtime. It's a Java runtime system server. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah. Now coming to the next slide. Yeah. Similar to like we have when we comes to the WebSphere application server, it has a different kinds of concepts. Like suppose before talking about this thing, we have a voice, right? Different kinds of voices we have. Like initially Microsoft Windows 97, then 98, then 2000, 2001, 2007, 2008 now, right? So similar to like that, WebSphere application server also will have a different kinds of editions, like application server Hypervision edition, application server Express, application server Community edition, server Network Deployment edition, application server for developers, application server for Jet by OS. That is nothing but mainframes. Okay. So which one do we have to go and select? When the requirement comes to you. Say for example, your manager asks you to create a development environment for the developers. Then which product do we have to select here? So usually the one which is highlighted in red color, right? application server network deployment will give, will give us the maximum requirement satisfaction. That means it will have all kind of features which is going to be used for development, testing, and production as well. Clear? Any doubts?
No.
Okay.
So they might have some specific reasons for you to select these environment, right? Products.
Yeah, we have a specific, as I told you, right? If you go for a application server express, say for example, comes to the next, start the one which I showed you, right? Application server express. So if you go for application server express, you can install only one application server. That's it. You cannot do much on that. Okay. If you go for a application server community edition, you can install multiple instances of the application servers. Okay, and you that's it. Multiple JVMs you can create. Max, that's all you can do it. You cannot do much things. But when it comes to the application server network deployment, you can do it many things. Like the concept of clustering, right? Clustering, cells creation, node agent creations. There are many concepts which we would cover in the next slides. Okay, those many things we can do it. As say for example, okay, let me give you an example. We have a Gmail account, okay, and let us assume, okay, per 1 second, how many requests will come to the Gmail? Say for example 1000. For example 1000. Okay. Now let's think if you create a one single JVM and which would serve only 200 requests at one shot for 1 second. Say for example. Okay. Now let's think about it. How can the single JVM will serve 1000 requests per second? Got the question?
Yeah.
So in that case, yeah. Go ahead.
You're talking about the capacity, so.
Yeah, exactly. Capacity, workload management. That is nothing but. Okay. So how we, so who is going to do that workload management? Suppose if the request is too heavy for one JVM, it should redirect to the other JVM to serve that request, right? So that kind of options, the features are available when you select to this application server network deployment. So usually most of the sorry?
It's basically load balancing.
Load balancing is one point. Okay. Not specifically load balancing is provided by load balancing is different. The terminology is completely different. Load balancing is different. Workload management is different. Okay. Internally the conceptual wise same, but I know when it comes to the product wise both are different. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll tell you in briefly about load balancing and workload management in detail in the sessions. Okay, that's okay. For timing, what you can understood is when you go for this product, we will have a most of the features which we are going to use in the current production system, current production environment. Okay. So when you are going to build a production environment, you can blindly go for this option and you can do it whatever they want. Clear? So it has a combination of all the things, you can say. Clear?
Okay.
So when you come to the right side picture here, okay, what is it? So why WebSphere application server is more demanded? As your question, right? It is providing these many features. So it has by default Java will be available. Okay. This is currently whatever figure I am showing you is a WebSphere application server 6.1. okay, so it has by default Java SDK 6 will be available, and it has a web container, it has a portlet container, it has a EJB container, it has a messaging container. These are all by default. It will come when you install a WAS. Clear, right? So when you go for some third-party things or some open source or third-party things, you need to install it manually and integrate it, and you need to see whether it is supported by your application server, right? But when it comes to the WAS, WebSphere application server, by default these all features will be available. The EJB container, messaging container, web-based administration, web services, work manager, application profiles, administrative agents, deployment manager. So these are the things which is readily available for you, and you just make to use it. You don't need to install it manually. You just do a kind of simple configuration changes that will work out for you to do the to activate that respective service here in the sense whether it is a ported container, then the respective changes you need to do it. Clear?
Okay.
So coming to the next slide. So when you install, okay, these are the basic concepts. While creating any new application, definitely you need a kind of environment, that is WAS in our scenario. So for WAS, you need to install it separately, right? So while once you install that WebSphere application server, you will have some kind of folders will be created, which is under IBM WebSphere app server folder. Okay. Like if you install any of the software, definitely the respective folders will be installed in your system, right? Similar to like that, when you install a WAS, you will have to find these many folders into your whatever you have selected, right? The selected directory. Okay. So these are all called core product files. Okay. Core product files are binary files. From now onwards, the installed folders we use it to call it as a binaries. Okay. This is the terminologies where we can use it. If we go for a administration side. Okay. So once you install a WAS, okay, once you install a WAS, then you have to create a JVM, right? So before JVM is very much required when you install any of the application, right? Up to that you clear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So while installing any application, we need a JVM. So once you install a WAS, definitely you need you have to create a JVM. So how we are going to create a JVM in WebSphere application server? So there is a concept called profiles here. Okay. By using profiles, we can create a JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. Okay. That we can briefly explain in the next slide. So this is a profile is nothing but it's a kind of JVM, right? As I told you, by creating a profile, we have a different kinds of options available here. So yes, as I told you, in WAS network deployment 7.4 version is having these many profiles: self profile, application server profile, management profile, custom profile, secure proxy profile. Well, what is the difference between these profiles? Why these many profiles are available in the WAS? Okay, definitely there would be a different options for the administrator to create a different kinds of profiles based on his requirement. Say for example, as I told you, as I told you, in our current system, in our current project or current application, current project will have a different kinds of environments. Say for example, development environment, testing environment, UAT environment, pre-production and production. These are the common environments where we can see in any of the projects, right? So what is a development environment? Development environment doesn't require much features, like it doesn't require any clustering, it doesn't require any load balancing, right? Because the developers is going to test the application, right? So by creating that environment, we will go for a application server profile here, which I have highlighted, right? Application server profile, what it will do is it will install a application server and it will create a one profile for the developer, one JVM we can say. Okay. So the developers can deploy their applications into that JVM and they can test the applications from there. Clear? Now, next thing is. Sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you were saying something, right?
No, nothing.
Okay. Now, the next profile would be, a DMGI profile, deployment manager profile. Okay. Why do we go for this deployment manager profile? Say for example, we have different JVMs, like application server 1, JVM, application server 2 JVM, application server 3 JVM, application server 4 JVM. Okay. Now I want to deploy my Gmail application into 4 JVMs. So what is the process of deployment? So you have to go to that application server 1 and deploy your application. Then come back to the application server 2 and deploy your application. And come back to the application server 3 and deploy your application into the JVM, right? So it will take a lot of time consuming process, right? Because say for example, if you the deployment will take 5 minutes for one instance. So if you go for 4 instances, 4 into 5, 20 minutes gone, right? Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the deployment manager profile, so that will save some time you. How the deployment manager profile will save you. So when you go for a deployment manager, what it will do is it will create one JVM that is for deployment manager, and we have to we have the application server profiles, right, already in place. Application server 1, application server 2, application 3, application server 4. Then we need to create one more profile called DMGR, deployment manager profile, and we have to add these four application server JVMs into the deployment manager profile. Clear? So how can we yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, you have one JVM, right? So and then
Yeah.
you will deploy.
No. Let me complete. Okay. Currently, we have 4 JVMs: application server 1, application server 2, application server 3, application server 4. Right? Up to that clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I want to deploy any application into these application servers, I have to go each and every server and deploy it manually, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is a time-consuming process.
Yes.
Now, to avoid that, we have one more profile called DMGR, Deployment Manager Profile. What it will do is we need to install a DMGR profile first. I mean, along with 4 application servers, we have to create one more JVM that is called Deployment Manager Profile. Once the profile is created, we need to add these 4 application server profiles to that Deployment Manager Profile. Okay, so that the user, I mean the administrator, can directly come and deploy their application into the deployment manager profile. That's it. Automatically, the application will be installed into the underneath of the deployment manager. So we have added 4 application servers, right? Automatically, the same application will be deployed into the 4 application servers. Clear? So within 5 minutes we can deploy one application into 4 instances. Clear, right?
Yeah. So can you just tell me the folder structure, like how? I mean, there are 4 JVMs, so those are all.
Yeah.
So these 4 JVMs are need to be copied in one certain place, right?
Yeah. See, for example, folder structure, I'll let you know. Okay, the folder structure would be something like once we deploy a DMGR profile, in the right side section you would see under profiles DMGR01, right? Similar to like that, you will see under profiles app server 01, app server 02, app server 03.
Okay.
Like that, 4 folders will be there under profiles. So total how many folders are available under profiles? 5, right?
Yeah.
One is DMGR01 and 4 are applications of 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Then we need to add those 4 application server profiles to DMGR profile.
Okay.
So you can say that DMGR profile is a parent one and application server profiles are the child one.
Yeah.
So once you deploy the application to the parent one, automatically that federation. Okay, here the federation concept come into the picture. So instead of using the term adding, okay, you can say federating. Federating is nothing but adding a application server profile to DMGR only. But the administrator terminology would be federation. Okay. So you have to use the federation terminology. So once we create a DMGR profile, we need to federate our application server profiles to the DMGR, so that automatically when you install any application into the DMGR, that would automatically installed in your the federated nodes, federated application server, say for example. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is nothing but a deployment manager profile. Now, up to that we have we have done all the manual things, right? Federation, I mean adding. Okay, now from now onwards, I'm not using that word adding. I'm trying to use the federation word. Okay. Okay. So
Yep.
up to that, what we did, I mean, up to now, what we have done. One is we have created 4 application server profiles and we have created 1 DMGR profile. Then I have federated all these application server profiles to DMGR profile, right? These are the manual tasks, all the things are. Now when you come to the cell profile, the one which is highlighted here, it is the combination of management profile. Management is nothing but deployment management profile plus application server profile. Okay. That means when you install this profile, when you select, while creating a JVM, when you select this cell profile, what it has created for us is, it will create one deployment manager profile and it will create one application server profile and it will federate the application server profile to deployment manager profile. Clear? Hello?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if you have any doubts, ask me. Because this is the important concept where, I mean, where we can, anyway, I'll show you with examples. I mean, while installation part also I'll show you. But I mean, need to understand the basic concepts.
Yeah.
So if you have any doubt, ask me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, so cell profile, usually, I mean, when you go for any production environment or something, how we are going to do, I mean, if it is a one application server and one DMGR profile, and definitely we'll go for that cell profile. If people are used to select this cell profile and create that deployment manager and application server and federate that application server into the deployment manager, right?
I didn't get it. I didn't get this part. Like cell profile, what did you say again?
Cell profile is nothing but a combination of management profile plus application server profile. Up to that you understood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Simple. So suppose if you select that cell profile, I mean what it will do is, I mean while installation time, it will create one application server profile for us, one deployment manager profile for us, and it will federate that application server to deployment manager profile. You don't need to do any manual things here.
Okay.
Clear? See, when you compare that, the previous profiles like application server and management profile, right? What we have done during that case, we have manually created 4 profiles, right? Application server 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4.
3, 4.
Then
Yeah.
created one deployment profile manually, right? Then federating these application server to management manually, right?
Yeah.
This manual intervention, this interaction won't be available when it comes to the cell profile. It will automatically create it and federated that application server to management profile for us. Clear?
Okay. So this is better than the previous one, then?
Sorry?
This cell profile is better than the other profile we created, right?
Correct. It's a combination. It's a combination of management and application server.
Okay.
So usually, I mean, when the see, suppose when a manager asks you to create a test environment for the user or UAT environment for the user, so we have to go for select this cell profile so that you don't need to the manual federation process, right?
Okay.
That will internally will do that. It's a kind of high level profile, we can say. Okay, it will do it everything for us.
Okay.
You don't need to do any manual process. Once you select it and next finish, it will create for us deployment manager profile, application server profile, and that application server profile is federated to the deployment manager profile.
Okay. Automatically, we don't need to.
Automatically, yeah. So custom profile. When we go for a custom profile is nothing but, say for example, we have selected a cell profile and created a management and application server, cell profile and created a deployment manager and application server, right? Now I want to add one more instance to that deployment manager. By default, if you select a cell profile, it will create only one application server profile and one management profile, right? If we want to add more application server instances, more JVMs, then we can go for a custom and select that application server profiles, and so everything will be in a drop-down box. So you need to select those things. That's it.
So one installation, suppose you already install cell profile, right? So can you go again for custom profile?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. We already install a self profile.
Yeah.
Okay. What it will provide? It will give us one DMGR and one application server instance.
Yes.
If you want to add one more instance to that DMGR, I want to create one more application server like application server 02. How we are going to do that? By selecting custom profile.
Custom profile. Okay.
Clear?
Okay. So in self profiles, you can add like three or more instances, like application server 1, application server 2, in the same doing the same installation in self profile, or it's
No,
only one deployment manager and one application server.
Yeah, in self profile, only one application server will be available. I mean, very first time.
Only
We can
one
add
application
manually. Sorry.
Okay. Only one application server,
Yeah.
only one application server profile and one deployment manager
Correct.
in self profile. But
Yeah.
if you want to add some more application server profiles, so you need to do it by using custom profile.
Correct. Yeah. Customer application server, whatever we want it, we can use it.
Can we add deployment manager as well?
No. Deployment manager always one.
It's always one.
See, deployment manager is the parent one. So
Yeah.
see how this relation would be parent and child. We have one parent and we have one child. When we go for a self profile, one parent will be created, one child will be created. If you want to add one more child, then we can go for a customer application server things.
Okay.
Deployment manager is the parent one, so you cannot create multiple parents on the same system, right?
Okay. So it's only one.
Yeah.
If you have one
Always
one WebSphere application server, you'll always have one deployment manager.
One deployment manager under one deployment manager can map to multiple application servers.
Yes.
Clear?
Okay.
But one application server cannot map to multiple deployment managers.
Deployment manager. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that is how this profiles concept comes into the picture. And yeah, I mean these are the okay. When you come to the next slide, this is the basic diagram where you can understand it very clearly. See, this is one deployment manager. Okay, this is one deployment manager, and we have under this we have two application server A, application server B, application server C, application server D. So 4 application servers are mapped to one DMGR, right?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
So this is how the architecture would look like. And what is this concept called cluster which is highlighted here, right? As I told you, the Gmail example, right? Per second, 1000 requests would serve per JVM, right? Say for example, one JVM is nothing but, say for example, one system can have multiple JVMs, anything, okay? How we are going to differentiate this architecture? Suppose, for example, in my laptop, I have installed application server 1 and application server 2, application server A and application server B, say for example, okay? And this is here, okay, whatever highlighted in the square box is nothing but one system. Node A is one system and node B is another system, like your system, okay? So node A will have application server A and application server B, and in your system node B, that is called application server D and application server C and D. I want to federate these all nodes into the in one more system. Say for example a node C which is resides in somewhere else. So I can do this kind of federation as well to the DMGR. Okay. The only thing is these 3 systems should be in the network. Clear?
Okay.
And okay. Now how the workload management will works out when it comes to the Gmail case. Okay. Now as I told you, one JVM can serve only 200 requests per example. Say for example. Okay. Okay. Suppose the website is configured in my laptop. Okay. Say for example, the website is configured in my laptop. In my laptop, in the sense, my laptop is the only system which is having the Gmail access. So it has 2 JVMs, JVM and application server A and application server B, and the Gmail application is running into this application server A and B. Okay. Now, as I told you, the Gmail is getting 1000 requests at per 1 second. So, but still my JVM is 200 requests so for JVM. So, how can the workload will be managed? Definitely, some users may have to see the page and some users may not have to see the page, right? Because of the because my system will support only 400 requests per second, but I got 1000 requests per second. How can the system will manage this 1000 requests? It will serve only 400 requests, and the rest of the request will be in a queue, right? So to avoid this, to avoid such kind of requests, so we have a concept called cluster. Okay. So what it will do is, it will taking care of the the workload management. Say for example, we have 4 JVMs which resides in different systems. Okay, and which is already federated to our deployment manager. Okay, that is different concept. Okay, now my JVM will support 250 requests per second. So what the cluster will do is, based on the request, based on the workload, and it will read the JVM and it will see how many requests it is currently surveying. If it is 250, if it is more than 250, it will pass to the next JVM automatically. Clear? So it's that piece we don't need to care. I mean, the server container itself will taking care of that feature. So the feature name is called it as a clustering. Okay, clustering is nothing but a what we can say is, suppose my system is down. Okay, as I told you, we have my system, your system, and and Node C as well. Okay, now the user hit gmail.com. Okay, during that time my system crashed, my hard disk crashed. What it will happen? If the request comes to my system won't respond back to that request, right? Because my system is already crashed. So even such kind of situations also handled by the clustering case. If the system is not able, if the system is crashed, if the system is not able to ping to that environment, then automatically it bypass to the next JVM, that is your system. So when it comes to the end user's case, he won't see any difficulty, right? He will safely access that website without losing his data, right? So this is one of the clustering feature. So if by how we are going to create this cluster, and I mean, we have 2 different kinds of clusters here. One is horizontal cluster and second one is vertical cluster. What is vertical cluster? What is horizontal cluster? Say for example, the entire environment is belonging to one system. Say for example, my laptop, and I have my laptop and it has an application server A and application server B as well as deployment manager. Everything is there in my laptop. Okay, that is called vertical clustering. Clear?
Okay.
Where suppose, for example, I know application server A and B is in my system, application server C and D is in your system. Okay. So 2 different systems we are trying to access our application, and this kind of environment is usually called as a horizontal clustering. Clear?
Okay.
Now tell me, yeah.
How about the deployment manager? In which system does it reside on?
Deployment manager can be in any one of our systems, or can be in some different system. That is fine. That is the different concept. Deployment manager is different. Clustering is different. Clear?
Okay. Okay. So
Deployment manager can be in any of the system. The final, what it will do is, we have to federate our whatever application server instances we have, right? We have to map our application server to deployment manager. That's it.
Okay. So for the cluster, we don't need to worry about the deployment manager.
Correct. Exactly.
It's only the application. It's only the application.
Because as I told you, deployment manager is only one, but application servers can have many, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now tell me, whatever highlighted here in the circle, right? What type of clustering is it? Application server B and C is circled, which is here in the picture, right?
They are in
What
two
type of
different.
cluster?
They are in two different systems, so they are vertical.
No, horizontal, right? Vertical would be within a one system.
So vertical is one system, horizontal is two different systems. So,
Correct. So it's a horizontal cluster.
yeah, horizontal.
There, right?
Yeah.
And here we have seen one more concept called node agent here. What is node agent here? Right? What is node agent? Because this is very much required. This is node agent is the mediator or middleware JVM, which is going to interact with the deployment manager and our application server instance. Okay. For example, so it's a federating your application server to deployment manager. Okay, while performing the federation activity from your application server to deployment manager, by default one JVM will be created to that system. Okay, what it will do is this node agent is taking care taken care by that deployment manager and application server communication activity. It's a kind of a channel where it will communicate between deployment manager and our application server instances. For example, as I told you, suppose my Gmail application is going to install in all of these 4 boxes. What I have to do? I just go and deploy it in my parent node, right? That is deployment manager. How it would be federate? How it would be installed in the below all 4 servers nodes, because I just installed it here in deployment manager, right? Yeah. But when it comes to the picture, and the application is installed in 4 boxes, who is going to do that activity? Is taken care by the node agent. Clear? Okay. Yeah. So node agent will do that in communication between application server and deployment manager. So definitely if you stop, if the node agent is broken, there is no communication between deployment manager and your application server. Clear?
So while installing the deployment manager or this, is it created automatically?
No. See, when you create a deployment manager, it won't create. When you did a federation of this application server to deployment manager, right? During the time, this node agent will be created.
So suppose for the instance, like if you have 2 JVM in one node.
Okay.
So how many node agents would you create?
Node agent 1 and node agent 2.
So does it depend upon the application server? Like for 10 application server, you need only one node agent. For 20 application server, you need 2 node agents.
We can make see that is again a 2 different concepts. We can make two, that many different node agents, or we can make a single node agent which would map to that entire box.
Okay.
Okay. So that depends on our requirement.
Okay. So can you? So
anyway, I mean that. See, those concepts we'll see, with a very clear examples. I mean, I'll do an installation piece and I'll explain you how the node agents will be created, how it is mapped. Everything we'll see in the session.
So then, for now, we don't need to worry about like this is while creating the application server, this node agent will be created automatically.
No, not creation of the application server. While federating our application server to DMGR only, the node agent will be created. Clear?
Okay, while federating it, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, these are the concepts which is available in the application server administration side. Like, I mean, as we already discussed, right, what is application server profile, these are the profiles explanation. This is the final screen. Do you have any doubts? This is just demo, right? So I just covered basic it's overview, high level overview. We can do it many things in the application server. We can create a data sources. We can create a using deployment manager, we can stop and start our application servers. For example, if I want to stop a application server A, okay, how we are going to do it? I just logged into that. For this deployment manager, we have admin console. By using that, we just go and select that application server A and stop it. Automatically, the application server will be stopped. So we can do many things. We can do security things. We can do we can import the certificates. We can export the certificates. We can integrate. We can suppose okay. You have asked to what is the difference between the WebLogic and WebSphere application server, right? This is one more feature, one more advantage which is available in WebSphere application server, which is not available in WebLogic server. Suppose if you want to integrate a third-party security tool to your application, okay? That feature, I mean, we cannot integrate a third-party security mechanism to your WebLogic server. That we can achieve it in WebSphere application server. We have many features that we are that we can see in a detailed things in a sessions.
Okay.
Okay.
So
This is yeah.
so on what level does this application server resides on? Like suppose I send the request. So is it like what do I mean to say is
Not getting you. What label in the sense? I don't understand the question.
is it level on mainframe level? What level does it reside on?
Label. I mean, I didn't get your question. I mean, what is your question? You
Okay,
just
suppose
send one request to your server. Okay, that up to that I understood. After that.
Yeah. Suppose I type in www.gmail.com.
Okay.
So it goes through the main HTTP server, right?
Right.
And then from HTTP server, it goes to the
Application server.
web application server directly, or there is some more,
See, two things. Okay. Okay. Two things. It's again in a depends on your project. Suppose. Okay. I'll tell you one thing. Okay. Suppose we have a Gmail www.gmail.com and user hit enter. Okay. The first request comes to our HTTP server. From there, I mean, if you are using any third-party, security mechanism, it will go to that, the specific third-party security mechanism things and display that page. If you are not using anything, directly it will come to your application server and it will find that respective JVM.
okay.
And it will load that application from that JVM. Clear?
Okay.
Because we already deployed our application to that JVM, right? So
Yeah.
it will load the application from that JVM.
So that JVM is application server A or else B, application server B or else C or D, in any JVM.
Yeah, who is going to handle? I mean, how can the system knows that which JVM does it go and pick that? That depend that will taken care by the cluster workload management, right?
Yeah.
Based on the load, it will move to the it will tell to the system which which JVM it goes and all, right?
Okay. Yeah. So cell is the so in connecting to the cell is the combination of deployment manager and application server.
No. Cell is a terminology wise it's a cell. I mean it resides into a one box or say for it's not in a one box. It's a it's a terminology, but I mean I'll tell you in detail. I mean okay, I'll show you what is a cell. Okay, a grouping of nodes into a single administrative domain. Now clear, right?
A grouping of nodes. So it's not concerned with deployment manager or an application server JVM.
See, it's a grouping of nodes means node can have many JVMs.
Yes.
One node can have many JVMs. So grouping of nodes means the entire architecture. Okay, say for example, our Gmail is one cell. Yahoo is one cell.
Okay.
Okay. Under Gmail, we can have many JVMs, right? Clear right now?
Yeah. So these JVM, okay, these JVM are managed by the nodes, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the combination of nodes, those nodes are called cells.
Correct.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah, I mean, this is a brief introduction, a brief demo or introduction about the WAS. Do you have any questions to ask me?
Not for now, but it was good.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I'll show you a bit detailed installation. How can we create a profiles? What are the things that we are going to do it in a WAS? That we can see in detail. In a sessions. Okay. So if you are
So,
okay with this session, so that from tomorrow onwards we can start the session.
so what would be the timing want for you?
Usually 8 to this is the same time, 8 to 9 would be the preferable time.
Okay, the same time, right?
Yeah, that is fine for you, right?
Yeah, this is fine for me. So, and
Okay.
then how long would it take to complete this?
Session.
Yeah,
It would take 2 weeks max.
2 weeks. Would we be good for in 2 weeks?
Yeah, it would be very very good, and it depends, if you are sometimes it depends on the class, and it depends on the grasping how much you are. Sometimes the students may not grasp what I have told. Then again, I mean, the next day I have to tell the same thing, and I have to explain the same thing. I have to show the same thing to you, to the students, right? So it depends on the you. I mean, if you are able to pick up the things very quickly, yeah, 2 weeks is good enough time to learn this class administration.
Okay. So, what environment are you planning to
Windows
use this?
currently I'm going to show you on the Windows, but we don't see much difference between Windows and AIX system. I know what I will do is I'll show you how to do the installation in Windows, and I'll explain you how to do the steps in AIX box as well. But I cannot show you because I don't have that AIX environment.
Okay. So you might have those slides that might help for me for
Uh,
AI.
yeah, definitely. I mean, slides in the sense I will provide the documentation to you how we are going to do it in AX.
Okay.
The steps which we are going to perform it in the AX.
Okay. So that's Windows based.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so are you also working in WebLogic or you're only working for WebSphere
WebSphere
application?
only. I'm in WebSphere.
Okay, currently in WebSphere.
Yeah.
So where do you work now?
Sorry.
So where do you work with? So can you tell me like which client do you work on now? And it's personal, but
Sorry, voice is so low. I mean, I'm not able to hear you very clearly. Can you
I mean,
repeat it?
yeah. So are you working for which client? I am saying.
That is, that I cannot share with you.
Okay, no
But
problem.
I'm working with some client.
Okay, no problem. No problem. That was just a personal question.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was good. It was good. The class was good.
So
I like the practical approach you're talking about, like the Gmail thing, rather than going to the the theory, because theory
mhm.
is I don't think that it would be much useful in a couple of class. So in the practical approach, it was good. Like I like the
Yeah,
way you yeah
obviously, I mean, our sessions would be more on practicals. Theory would be less
yeah yeah. I
because
mean
theory, everywhere you will get it, but the practicals you won't get it in
yeah.
everywhere,
I
right?
mean the way you're just trying to tell it in the practical approach, and I found that one impressive. That
Yeah.
was a good approach.
hmm
Yeah, I like
Okay.
that one. So,
So
yeah,
so you can reach out the the respective I mean SPA technologies, right? You reach to SPA technology. So you
yeah,
just convey the message to them. So when can we start the session? So that
yeah. I mean, so
they would let me know, so that we can plan it
yeah, I mean,
accordingly.
yeah, I'm good for now. I'll just talk to them.
Okay.
So we can
Okay.
start our
So,
class tomorrow as
so
well, I guess. You're free tomorrow, right?
sorry.
You're free tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm free tomorrow. See, 8 to
Okay.
9 is blocked for you only. So, yeah, I mean, 8 to 9 IST. So, I
Uh-huh.
mean, the same time which we are now, right? The
Having
same
now,
time will be
okay,
available. So
okay,
yeah, I'm free. Yeah, if you are okay and we can go ahead. So, yeah, let them to know so that they will let me know. So, we'll start the sessions on tomorrow.
okay, no problem. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
Okay,
thanks, yeah. Thanks,
thank you, Mont.
yeah,
Yeah,
thanks.
have a good
Bye.
day. Bye bye.
You too, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.